India got 3% less rain than normal, IMD. What is the impact of El Nino on Indian monsoon? Why there is a less rainfall than predicted by IMD? What is El Nino? What is La Nina? What is Madden-Julian oscillation, MJO? What is Indian Ocean Dipole, IOD? GS Paper 1, Geophysical Phenomena. What is the context about? India has ended up with 3% less rain than normal during the monsoon months of June to September. This is the first time since 2011 that the department was not able to forecast the overall sign of the monsoon, meaning that it expected heavy rain but ended up with less than normal. In 2014 and 2015, the India Meteorological Department, IMD, could not anticipate the severity of the droughts but had indicated that monsoon would be below normal. What is the impact of El Nino on Indian monsoon? This phenomenon affects rainfall in India during the monsoon months. Trade winds normally blow westward from South America towards Asia during Indian monsoon months. Warming of the Pacific results in weakening of these winds. Moisture and the heat content thereby gets limited and results in reduction and uneven distribution of rainfall across the Indian subcontinent. Why there is a less rainfall than predicted by IMD? Due to weak La Nina. 2014 and 2015 have seen one of the strongest El Ninos on record. The weather agencies around the world had said 2016 would be a good year because El Nino had receded and was likely to give way to La Nina. But so far La Nina has been extremely weak. Negative Indian Ocean Dipole and an unfavorable Madden-Julian oscillation, MJO, are the factors that obstructed La Nina. Abrupt breaks in the monsoons. Typically the monsoon tends to take a break in July or August, and this year the break began around mid-August. As IMD's weather chart shows, India didn't meet its weather quota even for a single day between August 12th and August 30th. Inefficient model to predict forecast. IMD still relies on statistical model for weather forecast. They are not robust enough to capture changes in global climate that could affect the Indian monsoon. But it is planning to shift next year to a forecast system that relies on a supercomputer-led dynamical weather modeling. What is El Nino? El Nino means little boy in Spanish. El Nino refers to a condition in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Ecuador and Peru in South America, in which sea surface temperatures become unusually warm. During an El Nino event, trade winds weaken or may even reverse, allowing the area of warmer than normal water to move into the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. El Nino leads to warming of sea surface temperatures, which in turn affects wind patterns and triggers both floods and droughts in different parts of the world. It is a weather system which re-emerges after a gap of about 2 to 5 years in the Pacific Ocean. What is La Nina? During our La Nina event, the Walker circulation intensifies with greater convection over the western Pacific and stronger trade winds. As the trade winds strengthen, the pool of warmer water is confined to the far western tropical Pacific, resulting in warmer than usual sea surface temperatures in the region north of Australia. Sea surface temperatures across the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean become cooler than usual and the thermocline moves closer to the surface. Cool waters from the deep ocean are drawn to the surface as upwelling strengthens. What is Madden-Julian oscillation, MJO? MJO is an eastward moving disturbance of clouds, rainfall, winds, and pressure that traverses the planet in the tropics and returns to its initial starting point in 30 to 60 days, on average. Unlike El Nino, which once established continues for several seasons over the Pacific Ocean, there can be multiple MJO events within a season, and so the MJO is best described as intra-seasonal tropical climate variability. The MJO consists of phases: the enhanced convective phase and the suppressed convective phase. In the enhanced convective phase, winds at the surface converge, and air is pushed up throughout the atmosphere. At the top of the atmosphere, the winds diverge, leading to increased condensation and rainfall. In the suppressed convective phase, winds converge at the top of the atmosphere, forcing air to sink, warms and dries in the process, leading to suppressed rainfall. These two phases produce opposite changes in clouds and rainfall, and this entire dipole propagates eastward. What is Indian Ocean Dipole, IOD? It, also known as the Indian Nino, is an irregular oscillation of sea surface temperatures in which the western Indian Ocean becomes alternately warmer and then colder than the eastern part of the ocean. A positive phase sees greater than average sea surface temperatures and greater precipitation in the western Indian Ocean region, with a corresponding cooling of waters in the eastern Indian Ocean. It tends to cause droughts in adjacent land areas of Indonesia and Australia. The negative phase brings about the opposite conditions, with warmer water and greater precipitation in the eastern Indian Ocean, and cooler and drier conditions in the west.